This video is going to be about my top 5 most difficult Variator combinations that I've gotten during the Escalation therapy. I reached level 30, so I wanted to talk about some of the most difficult ones. Number 5, having deadly prime assets, prime time, remote control gates, blocked paths, and closed rolling gates. The map becomes really difficult to navigate even if you're familiar with it. Adding multiple prime assets who are also one-shot kills can make it kind of a struggle, but having a health booster or the last chance amp is really helpful during this. Next up is number 4, limited hiding spots, limited items, no rig, and toxic shock. This was a little challenging just because you had to be aware of any open hiding spots at all times, so you could be prepared to hide. It honestly wasn't too bad compared to some of the other ones. Hide and heal would be a really good amp to have for this one if you're available to get it, but this one wasn't too bad. Number 3, this one is where it gets a little bit more challenging. The bad trip, extra psychosis mines, and health sickness were pretty difficult. Health sickness, you only start out with 1 bar of health and you have to go find some pills to get more bars of health, and you're constantly in psychosis, so it's a little bit more challenging, and if you step on a mine, you'll lose your sanity. So this one was a little bit more challenging, but still not the worst. We have number 2, explosive mines, bleeding, sharp glass, psychosis damage, and prime time. I don't even know how we actually survived this one. It was really difficult. You step on the glass, you have psychosis damage, there's explosive mines, and all of this causes bleeding, and then you have multiple prime assets. It was a complete disaster, but we made it. But yeah, I would say that sharp glass and psychosis damage are probably 2 of my least favorite variators, just because they are extremely challenging, especially when they're together. But this is still not the worst one. And last but not least, the most difficult in my opinion, no revives, stay together, locked items, bleeding, and limited hiding spots. Played with a group, and it was impossible for us to separate because we would take damage, so we couldn't really get away from enemies. We were bleeding out, taking turns trying to revive each other. If anybody actually did die, we couldn't bring them back alive, and we couldn't move away from their dead bodies, so at that point we were basically toast.